Okay, guys, I think we are live. Not sure what's happening in my preview, but let me know if we are live and you can hear me okay in the chat. And we've got a green screen to start with. This is going to be a fun stream. Just looking to see if I've got a way around this. Hopefully everyone is good and you can hear me okay. Like I say, put one in the chat and I'll get around to sorting out the technical issues we've got. It's a bit hot here, so I'm hoping we can live stream. It may be a case of changing it the format round so that we potentially have another way of doing this if all works well. I'm not sure why it's going so slow, but we'll see what happens. I'm just double checking a couple of settings, guys. Hopefully this is going to work. Right, are we reconnected? Can you see the screen and can you see me? Hopefully you can see me, and hopefully in a minute you'll see the iPad kick in. I've just literally dropped a few bits here and there, and hopefully it's going. Um, I'm not too bad. I'm attempting to stream, and this is going to be a that's what's happening. Omen, the uh, Floatzel. Omen, you might not have a strong signal, but it's also my signal this end, so I'm just literally going to double check everything's running a second. If you can hear me, great. Put a 1 in the chat. If you can see me as well, put a 2 in the chat. And I'm just literally trying to get this all back up and running. Something is killing my machine, but I don't know what. Ah, that could be why. I thought that was closed. That is closed. Two-second, guys. Um, yeah, I might still have a bit of lag. I am just literally killing everything one at a time that I don't need to sort this. Hopefully, it'll delag in a minute and the connection will pick back up. So hopefully I'm back. I've got no idea what's up with the iPad display at the moment. We may have to resort to plan B, which will just be me moving the camera and killing. That might help. Guys, can you see me now? How many fingers am I holding up? Put in the chat. If you can see me, how many fingers am I holding up? Let me know. I'll sort the iPad out because it's not showing, which is really irritating. But I think I am back potentially. This is taking forever. Okay, guys, if you can hear me, I'm going to quit the stream and I'm going to start a new one. Guys, I am hopefully back and up and running with everything but the iPad screen now. Let me know because this is running a lot faster and a lot smoother. So if you are able to let me know, I appreciate I've got like one viewer at the moment. Awesome. And if I'm coming through with the audio fine, brilliant. So now all I've got to do is get the iPad working, which was playing up. So I'm going to swap the cable back round to this one, and hopefully it's going to pick it up. It's going to work without a green screen. I think just the laptop was overheating and it crashed. So I've done a restart, and I'm hoping that's fixed it. Yes. Okay, we are up and running. If we get a green screen, we'll just plow on with it. So hopefully, guys, you are back. If you're in there, I will say a couple of hellos. So hello to Tony, Minecraft Transformers, Tipcentric. We've got Mr. E. We also have Galahound19. You've asked a question. If you're still here, I'll answer that. Hey Dempsey, I'm quite excited for your. Oh, you've done a statement. Quite excited for your SCP community redraw. I remember recommending that just a few short months ago. You did. The redraw's been for an SCP one's been on the list for a very long time since I started doing I did the mind was it venomizing SCPs or something. So I've had the community redraw in mind for that. I just haven't done that in a while. I wanted to get the stories and the artwork to a point where I can do justice to it, and I learned a couple of new techniques on one of the ones that we're doing. Hey, Delicate Snake, thank you for joining. You've not missed anything. We are literally just starting the stream. Had a few technical issues, but we'll get there. I'm not going to be doing music on the streams until I can figure out what's up with that. So we'll just have to bear with on that one. Something on the laptop was running in the background and making it super hot, and it just basically crashed it. But now we've got a decent bandwidth going. We've got things working. I will probably strip that out. I'm just transforming my new little toy if you're following the community feed. I love this. I've got a Gen 1 Soundwave little toy that transforms, and he's also got a cassette that comes out, which is awesome. So this little guy joining the collection along the wall to stand up. So I'm going to move Knuckles along and hopefully not kick Spider-Man off. He's balancing by a thread. And we're going to put Soundwave up there to join everybody, which is rather cool. So get him to stand up. And we now have Soundwave on there, which you might not be able to see because it's tiny. Um, Galahani says, hey, guess what? I'm heading to Iceland next week and I'm excited to see exotic landscapes and rich culture. May I ask Dempsey, what's been the most exotic place you've ever visited? Oh, I've been to Florida, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Turkey, I've been to Lanzarote. I would say Mexico. Seeing some of the Aztec ruins and that's absolutely amazing. I do want to go to Japan at some point though, taking some of the culture. So anyway, getting on with the stream a second. Um, Oh, I don't know if I've seen that yet, Stella, but I'll have a look after the stream. So we've done Spider-Punk, we've done Spider-Gwen, and we've done Spider-Man. We've got the main flats for them, obviously separate because we need them separate. We've got our image to place stuff. So I was thinking potentially today we can work on Miles Morales. So we'll work on the Spooder Man. Um, so I'll work on the Morales Spider-Man, and I'm just looking for my reference image because everybody knows reference images are a godsend, and if you don't use a reference image for your art, it doesn't matter, but I recommend you do. It just makes all of the difference on everything you do, really. Um, Um, I'm going through the 6 ones that I've originally got, and then I might add more onto it later on off screen. We do have space for one that is not being defined, but we've got the original Spider-Man, the original Spider-Woman. We have Spider-Punk, Spider-Gwen, and Mars Morales. So the idea is we're gonna have some of the ones from the bits. Spider Boy, Minecraft. Are you trying to kill the series? No. I'm not sure what I think about Spider Boy, to be honest. That guy's yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one. Though I will be working on my way through this illustration and looking to at least finish this guy off tonight. I've just got back from martial arts, but it is boiling here in the UK. We have not had any proper rain from the heat we've had, and it's a dry, humid heat. It's just, it feels like you're roasting. So I've got my bottles of water with me, and if the laptop can survive it, we will survive it. You mean Spider-Man 2029? The possibility to add them along with Spider-Ham and a few others will be uh, on the list. See what I mean by the green screen? Right, let me try and sort that because that's going to really bug me, but hopefully now this will work. Unfortunately, I think because it's quite hot, I'm going to have a couple of minor technical issues that we'll just have to figure our way through, and I think that's going to be the first one. Finding a cable that will work other than that one. At least the stream's running nicely. Yes, it's the green screen of doom. Back for more. And hopefully, this one will survive a green screen of doom. I've got cables everywhere for this effect, so I'm hoping it comes back in a second. Do, do, do. If not, I've got to come up with a backup plan, which we've got the backup one where I put it onto the screen here. We just have a large version of that screen. You can't see anything else, and I just swap around what I'm doing for the reference. It does make it really difficult for the reference and the chat and stuff at the same time. But I may oh, cool, we're back. Speaking about it, and it comes back. So yeah, so we're going to work our way through the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I got a cool color scheme idea in mind for some bits of the venomized aspects. I just want to. I am going to have so much fun with this green screen today, aren't I? I will double check the settings, but it should be a handshake. The green screen's a handshake issue, but everything is set to be working right for the iPad. Let's try the original cable back again. We will get there in the end, guys. If worst case scenario, I'll do what I did on the members stream and I'll plug it into the big display for us, and we can just watch it through the display as I'm doing it. And I will just have to share a time lapse out later. Um, it is a bit frustrating when this happens. Unfortunately, I don't always get a say in it, which is really annoying because no, it would be nice to. But hopefully, it's going to come back in a second. Um, Gallahan says, "Hey, what's been your favorite Spider-Man series? For me, it will have to be the tie between Spider-Man Makes Series 1994 and Spectacular Spider-Man. Although that series ended way too soon. I don't really know. I grew up on the really old old Spider-Man ones, and this is not wanting to play ball today, is it? It does not want to register my iPad today. Really? I will be having to go with plan B. Hey Tegan, I'll go make the green screen a coffee because you might need one. No, I'm not actually making a coffee. Yeah, I think it may be a case of I'm going to switch to my backup plan. So, backup screen will be me making this window super large. Hopefully you can all hear me okay still. I'm becoming gigantic on screen. Um, I'm going to be setting this up now, so give me a second. I'm switching everything about so that we can do this. Okay, so we are going to have a big screen TV version of what we're drawing, and I'm going to bring this along a bit closer so you guys can actually see it much better. I don't know if I can get any closer than that at the moment. Possibly can. Give me a second. I am improvising with every tool at my disposal to get this working for you guys. So bear with me a second and we will sort this. I have lost chat at the moment. Hopefully that will come back in a second on my screen, just because I'm sorting stuff. So please bear with me. But the idea is that I should be able to, once the laptop catches up, I should be able to record the screen going this way and give you guys uh, access to see what's happening. So please bear with me. A bit of on-stage sorting. That's a helicopter outside. We have a helicopter happening outside for some reason. Are you just passing over or are you coming to join the stream? I don't know. They might be joining the stream. It could be interesting. It could be super interesting. Maybe we've got a helicopter coming to join us. That'd be quite cool. Right, we've gone for old school today. We are now using a big screen camera. So I'm going to just flick. Can you guys see that okay? It may have been a bit laggy. Is it getting any better? It might have lagged for a second while I was sorting stuff with the connection. This is the best we can probably get. So can you see the screen okay and can you hear me okay? Um, YouTube wasn't getting enough stuff to view, so it tried to buffer it. So is this better? Has the stream caught up with me? So that is the question. It should be fine. You should be able to see things pretty cool right now. So you should be able to see me drawing down here, kinda, and then the display with what we've got here. So you'll be able to see what's happening on the screen. This is the best I'm going to get tonight, which is unfortunately not the best thing in the world, but it's going to have to do. So it is struggling with the stream a little bit though, which is a bit weird. It shouldn't be struggling with this. Right. Is it lagging? Oh, it might catch up. So is it still lagging or is it caught up? I'm going to continue drawing and waffling on. I will be checking the info at the side as we go along, but just let me know. My hand on the camera, my hand on the camera, my hand on the camera. Just for you, Alan Animations. I do need to drop that opacity down a bit more. So hopefully you guys, did you see my hand moving and had it picked up and is it okay? Because YouTube's going to tell me it's going to be not working very well. My stream thing says it's green and you should be able to see my hand here. So let me know. Give me a 2 in the chat if it's caught up and it's working fine. Refresh your page. If you can hear this, refresh your page. Hi, Total. Yeah, refresh your page if you can hear this, because that will also possibly have an impact. I do apologize for the technical issues this evening, though. It is an unfortunate factor of lives that sometimes you'll get these issues. Can't see it. What, my hand moving or the image? Because the image should now be big screen. Give it a minute, it should catch up. Um, because this should be quite clear on it now. If I'm seeing what I'm seeing, you should be able to see a really clear version of the image compared to what's there. I'm hoping you can, otherwise this is going to be one of those pretty quick streams. Okay, that's quite cool. I got an idea for this. So I got a question. I'm in a huge debate on my next video of turning something to fantasy creatures. So which should I do? Turning Steven Universe characters into dragons or made no difference? Is it better now it's zoomed in? You might have caught up. There is a definite lag which is causing an issue. So I'm trying to sort this out the best I can. I mean, this big screen is probably the best we're going to get, so I mean, if that's not going to be clear enough, I don't know what will be. I'd go Steven Universe characters as dragons. I think that'd probably be better. That seem like the more super interesting one out of the two. Lovely Venom smile. Can you guys see it better now? I mean, hopefully it's caught up enough to show it properly. The stream last time I saw it did have reasonably good connection. It's not the best in the world, but it is reasonably good. Um, if it is still going to be really bad, it's going to be the heat in here, and there's not a lot I can do about it. I mean, if that is an issue, I'm going to have to end the stream. Um, I have restarted the stream once already, and it's become laggy again. This is not going to be a stream connection issue. This is going to be another issue, and I'm not sure what it is. If it is super laggy, I can reschedule the stream for another time this week and see if I can figure out what's going on. Probably fine. They're playing with the BT box down down exchange in the corner, and they probably killed my internet, which wouldn't surprise me. Um, but this shouldn't be laggy now. This should be actually really. Or reasonably clear at least. Has it started to get a bit clearer now in terms of the stream and the lagginess or not? Because if it should be back to excellent condition, so hopefully it'll work. I want to say, are you? Where you enjoyed your previous read? Where if you're unhappy you chose my submission? I couldn't help but notice you didn't quite as much detail in the kaijus that you did with the Ben 10 ones. Yeah, but the Ben 10 ones are live streams that take like maybe 4 hours each, without the lore. The community redraw ones, again, are ones that won't have as much time as normal videos. There's a lot more in the redraws to do. This is why I'm limiting the redraws down to about 4 to 5, potentially at least 5 illustrations now, and I'm starting the illustrations a lot earlier. So I've done 2 of the illustrations already for this month's community redraw. Um, yeah, animations. I'm glad it's working again. Peace. But it's it is a case of the connection on the internet. So hopefully this will work and you guys can see it nicely. I'm not sure how far behind it is. But yeah, for the SCP redraw, I've already got what's happening planned out for story. I've just got to type it up. I've been, as I say, this one has been kind of in the works since the Minecraft Transformers, the venomizing SCPs episode. So this one is kind of been thought about way back when for an SCP redraw, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with everyone's submissions. I'm not giving any spoilers to what's happening. I'm just saying that was the video of when I was first decided I wanted to do an SCP redraw, but I didn't know what I was potentially going to be doing with it. I wasn't 100% sure where I wanted to go with the story or what I wanted to do on that one. But now I do. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing and where it's going to be going, and it's going to be quite cool. And then Friday is going to be, I think the poll winning was Digimon Mech Armors. So we're going to be introducing some Digimon into the Mech Armor universe. I've got a list of ones that I'm going to be potentially using. I did plan a Digimon video ages ago, when it was first suggested about doing Digimon. I think when Popcross started his that's how long ago this was. When Popcross started his Pokemon as SCPs, was it? Around about the time then, I was thinking about doing Digimon as SCPs. But yeah, it was it's been some of these have been a long time coming content, and I've decided that before we get to like the redraw July, um, the July sort of like 1 year of doing redraws, I would sort out the some of the older content from the channel, suggestions and stuff, and do a couple this month to bring back some older elements, but also get them going, kind of like a nostalgia month beforehand to build it up a bit. But at the same time, it is also because of the fact that these have been suggested, and I do have to do fewer suggested stuff from time to time. They're cool ideas, and I've been wanting to do them for a while. Why not? It's literally a case of why not? It's just decided, yeah, I want to. Right, how am I going to do this? Because I want this to be. Yeah, I'm not sure about its head, but then again, the symbiote is going around him. I think I need to make more of a nuisance of his face a bit more. The trick is I don't want to go into as much detail as I've done on other venomizing elements because I need to keep it all consistent style on this. So I can see what's happening, which is quite cool, but at the same time, it also means that I'm somewhat limited in some of the stuff I'm doing. I can say for the community redraw, the 2 that I have picked so far, I've picked I think I picked three in total. I'm waiting for the rest to come through. I've got another one to draw. The ones that I picked so far have been they're designs that I thought would look really cool venomized, but they're also stuff which for the lore, I'm mixing it up a bit to normal. So some of the lore submitted has been absolutely insane in length. There's a Word document with about 3 pages on it for one of them to make an SCP log, and that's really cool. It was really good. It's just how does that not look right? So it's not meant to join there as such. Have I not got the angle of that finger right? I haven't, have I? This is why we do rough lines and then the next lines on top and build it up. And I say this is kind of like going to the streaming of you can't see me properly, but I am here, and this is what you guys are going to get to see. So yes, but feel free to chuck questions in. And I'll keep looking at the chat from time to time. Um, I do have my reference image open and the other element open. I have to say, Galahad 19, the two that I've redrawn so far, I am really pleased with how they came out. One of them, it's just the teaser image I'm using is just going to be absolutely insane. It looks incredible, which I am super excited about. So for this one, I've decided I'm going to use the image of Miles Morales as a reference with a pose of where he's got the first Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. That symbol is spreading faster than COVID-19. What, the SCP one? Oh, that symbol's gone everywhere. Um, yeah, it's a case of the symbiote on the symbiote. The Spider-Man I want to do is that one because I wanted to have a dynamic pose, but because I haven't seen the second movie, even though I know what his costume's going to look like, kind of wanted to make it so that this was well, it's more of a cartoony version of it, but at the same time, it just adds a bit of color to it. I was thinking about it earlier, and where I've got the layout, so where I've got the Spider-Gwen with the colors here, where you've got like this fluorescent-y bluish color here, and then you've got the pink on her here and here. I need something to counterbalance that. So I've got the whole concept for Miles's um, design there. Hello, Zara. How are you doing? Hey, DempseyJ, in your opinion, what has been the best film in 2023 so far? Super Mario, hands down. I probably will after watching Spider-Man, say Spider-Man. However, the Super Mario movie was absolutely incredible. Um, yes, I would say Super Mario. I haven't seen many other ones. 65 was quite good, but I haven't seen any other ones that I want to see yet. I do want to see John Wick 4. I do want to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I want to see the Flash movie when it comes out. But so far, I'd have to say the Super Mario one because it's pretty much the only one that I've seen. Tipcentric says, a stream is looking good now. Everyone spam the heart button. Ha, I appreciate that, guys. Um, yeah, if you're watching and if you're watching and you love Spider-Man, hit the like button. You procrastinated on an essay. I'm finally managing to kind of do this illustration, which I'm super happy about because it was playing up a minute ago. Somewhat chronic on the stream. But I didn't do a premiere or a heads up that I'm streaming tonight because I wasn't sure if I was going to do this tonight or another night in the week because of the heat. But we've managed to get something kind of working. So that's what we're going to go with on this one, which is quite cool. I will tidy all these lines up later. I just want to add a few more details in before I do because this is going to be kind of the point where the clothing's not going to be venomized as such, but the costume underneath is going to start getting venomized, working up it. Reason for this is um, that symbol is going to be hard to draw for a start at that angle and do justice. And secondly, I like it when they've got the venomized chest and it's like going across them. This is a completely different angle to normal. Uh, Animations, Dempsey, since I started doing the turning stuff into other stuff, should I start doing community redraws now or later when I get more popular? I would say uh animations, wait till you've got some more subscribers, a bit more popular, save up, plan it out, be ready for it, but don't do it just yet. I didn't do it till I got almost 1,000 subscribers so that I've got enough people that might as yeah. So I've got enough people that will submit on a regular basis. Um, that's why it's once a month and that. But there's no harm in planning them out and putting posts out and saying, shall I do this and asking opinions and stuff before you actually commit to anything. Oh, I'm kind of jealous, Sarah. I want to watch that Spider-Man movie. What? You guys don't have a chat about it in here. I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry, but it's quite cool that it's good. I've seen the trailer and I love it. And if it's anything like I say the comics that I've been reading, then it's going to be with all the multiple Spider-Men and everything else in the different universes, uh, the whole spider concepts of all over the place. Then it's going to be absolutely amazing, which would be quite cool. But this is where I got most of my references for the illustrations. However, this one had to be done differently because it is Miles Morales Spider-Man on the movie. So I wanted to kind of keep it to a degree, but also have it as a cool bit. Yeah, I mean, if you've got enough people saying yes, and you can get at least 5 to 6 people guaranteed to submit each month, and you can get a variety of them, go for it, is what I say. Um, it all bottles down to if you can get enough people doing it. I have, and I'll be honest with you, I have struggled some months for the variety because depending on the theme and the topic, there's only been 5 to 6, barely enough to submitting to actually um, do any justice, which is a bit frustrating at times, but it's one of those things. It does happen. I'm not like, oh my God, why is nobody doing it? It's just a case of it happens sometimes. It just falls in place with you don't always get enough people to do it. Um, I would love to have hundreds of people do the community redraws, and then we can just go, well, yeah, we've had 100 people submit for the redraw, and I've got hundreds of choices, and then I can do honor reels and stuff. But sometimes when people go, I should be doing honorable mentions, I don't always have enough to do honorable mentions, um, which I'm hoping to change. So if you don't think that your art or your concept's going to be good enough, just do it. Just submit it. Just give it a go. I'm assuming that if you're a bigger Marvel fan than I am, which I mean, I've set the bar low, you're going to like it a lot more. I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. He's my top Marvel superhero of all time. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be like, yeah, yeah. Uh, hey Dempsey, if you're open to suggestions and want to utilize an old but fun topic on your channel, then why not take your super designs and redraw them as megas? I think if you're on about mages, I do have ideas for mage-related content on the channel that will be happening. Um, but I'm not going into detail on that. It's not going to be, it might fall over to a redraw, but it's not. And it's not, I will be continuing the My Hero Academia Mages at some point because there's some more characters we can use, but it's nothing to do with that. It's I'm working on something behind the scenes in my head. Behind the scenes in my head, yeah. I'm working on something in my head. Don't worry, we're all crazy. Minecraft Transformers. Excellent troubleshooting power through, bud. Yeah, that's getting used to it. And congratulations on 2 months membership. So, is there a way to submit a piece I've worked on and see what you think, just for some insight as well? Um, Total, are you on the Discord? Do you have Discord? If you do, that might be the best way because you can message me or do art feedback and not only get my feedback, but get it from the community. The only other way to do it, um, potentially would be email me on the from the about page, say it's you in the email, and attach the artwork to it, and then tell me on a comment you've done it, and I'll have a look at it. See what see what I think. I won't do this very often. While the community is quite small, I am happy to do this briefly, but it is going to be tricky. I mean, the Discord's the best place because you get my feedback and everyone's feedback if you're able to get on it. But I know not everyone's got Discord, which makes it kind of a bit makes it a bit tricky at times, unfortunately. And animations, like I said, if you can get 5 people repeatedly submitting at least, or you can get the concepts in, then that'd be great. Um, the one thing I have completely tried to avoid at all cost on mine is having the best way to describe it is for the redraws is if I don't have enough for a redraw, I will just use what I have and I'll just openly say it. I could buffer it out with my own drawings to then do it, but that's kind of like me drawing stuff twice. And I don't want to do that. That's going to be annoying. Thank you, Minecraft, for dropping the Discord link in there. If you do have it and you want to join the Discord, join there and it'll be quite cool. Galahad 19 says, I'm really liking your narrators. I'm interested to know what are their backstories and are there any evil twins or weird uncles? Bainsworth family dinner like Christmas at Nexon's house. I am going to be going into a bit more of the characters, personalities, and origin stories as part of the development on a couple of redraws later on down the line this year. Not so much as in depth as like a family at Nexon, family dinner at Aaron Folds and that, because their backstories, once I flesh them out, and I will need to sit down and spend a lot of time fleshing them out properly, there, if I do backstories in more detail, there's going to be something, I can't say this without spoilers. It's got to have more than an obvious meaning. Yeah, so if you download Discord, join it. You can mute the server if you don't want notifications every now and again and just jump in and out, and then just send it in either the community feedback or if you're on the server, find me. And I mean, most people got a direct message from me on there if you're on the Discord because I've done the redraws, so I send the artwork over to them. In fact, I can't remember if I did the artwork for everybody of the last redraw. If I haven't, I apologize. I'll send it through. I'm pretty sure I have, but I can't remember. Just thinking about it. But yes, we'll see on that. Um, I kind of want to make this symbiote kind of wrapping around his butt. Because the whole concept is Venom had it on that side, he has it on that side more. It's going to work, but the face has got to be venomized. Obviously, they're on their spider costumes, which works. I will be doing, just a heads up for you guys, I will be doing some simpler videos in terms of topics, so I may drop back to a fusion episode or some other stuff that I know really well in the future because I've got some commitments to do for more detailed art pieces to do. Kind of commissions, kind of a personal project, one of them. So I need to do it, but at the same time, it's a case of I don't mind making it into a stream or something, but I need to check if I'm allowed to do that on them. I mean, if it's a personal project, I can turn it into a stream for content coming up and we can have some fun. I do want to practice a couple of digital styles, more painting. I want to do some, I will also be doing a personal project in my spare time when I figure out what I'm drawing. That's going to be a super deep, well, I say super deep, as best as I can do, digital painting of some characters. Maybe uh Tears of the Kingdom related or something. If not, I do have maybe I might do is it Rimuru from that time I got reincarnated as a slime? That could be pretty cool. Mm, Where's the picture I need for my reference? I've lost my reference picture, guys. Or one of them. That's not good. All right, let's reload that page and start again. Yeah, that's better. Nope, that's not there. I don't want that bit. I want to reload the page and start again. Other than that, how is everybody doing? Now that we kind of got the stream running. You know, the exact picture I want. Where is it? I need a reference at the bottom of his foot. Come on, where are you? You were on this page earlier. I know you were. Where? Aha, that's what I want. Also, guys, if you do want to, you're not obligated to. If you become a member, you get teaser images and a link to all the artwork via a Google Drive link. Same as if you became a patron. Um, you get access to content a little bit earlier as well. If I can get a video's artwork done in advance, you get that. The only thing that I will never put on the um, actual Google Drive is the community redraw artworks. As I said before in other streams, those are a way of giving back to you guys, and the ones that submit are the only ones that get a copy of that artwork. Now they can do what they want with it. They can print it off for them and their mates. They can do whatever. But I will never put that on the Google Drive for everybody to get. Other than that, everything else will be on there. Just a small plug there, really. And Total, if you do send it, I will probably reply tomorrow on it because once I've done this stream as far as I'm going to go on this stream, it will be a case of it will be a bit of a case of me getting some shut eye. Like I say, this is like an ongoing project. This one, I wanted to have a bit of fun working on the whole Spider-Man concept, but at the same time, I wanted to do something for Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse as an illustration. I may, if Here's a question for people. Do you want me to continue this each Monday until we're done? Or do you want me to have this the last one that we're doing, then add loads of characters or add more characters to it, or pick it up after the stream and do something else next Monday to break the stream up a bit? Um, I mean, I don't mind making this a long project that we're all kind of a part of, but I also know people might get a bit bored with always being like working on this art piece for several weeks. I thought I'd ask the question. And technically speaking, I'm the artist, she's not ever saying it, but it's nice to include the community. I got bad service, so I'll have to set up Discord later. Thanks. Yeah, no worries at all. If you set it up, join the Discord server. The link's at the bottom of pretty much every video and also in the channel banner on the page. And yeah, just join in and yeah, it'll be great to see you on there. Oh, just to reiterate what I said last week, I will be doing more members only streams, but they will be extra streams and they'll say members only from time to time. I'll be doing at least one a month to start with. So there will be one this month at some point that is literally members only. So whether the stream's public, you will have to be a member to chat within it because of the fact that it is a members only stream. Usually it'll be an unlisted or private stream, so it won't count really towards my watch time or anything. It's just something where the members can ask behind the scene questions, see behind the scene stuff, and get advanced look at some of the artwork that's happening on the channel for upcoming videos. Which everyone's like, oh, I want to see the spoilers, I want to see the spoilers. But in all fairness, this is the part of giving back to the community. So it's an extra nice thing to do for those who are able to, but at the same time, you won't be missing out. The stuff's always going to be available either in the store at some point, depending if I'm able to put the poster in the store. This one, for example, can't go on the Teespring. Um, but I do want to do some shirts and that. Would anybody be interested if I put some of my artwork or the logo or some slogans or something on some artwork and I made some merch? That kind of interest anyone potentially, or am I just being delusional? Yeah, I said it. I'm delusional. I'm a YouTube creator. I'm crazy. Can you tell it's a long, hot day here? I think that's probably our initial, yeah, other than the bit in the hood here, which I can get. I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's fine. That hood can come. Oops, that's what happens when you're on a layer that doesn't need anything. Cool. So that's our rough sketch, because if any of you guys are new to the stream, the reason why it's going to look a bit weird is because until I've actually added all the lines to it properly, the line art, I don't fill out all the details to the rendering stage, but this is going to be a simpler form. And also, there's going to be, it's going to be consistent with the other ones, but also, I tend to use the lighting to add the detail and the atmosphere and stuff. Now, I will be testing a couple of effects I've seen digital painting wise on this piece as we go along. There's going to be a bit of experimentation, but I can't do that until I get to the lighting stage. So I need a fair amount of characters in first before we can get to that. What I might do is off stream, I might continue with some of the characters up to that stage, and then next Monday's live stream, continue on from it. And animations, I'm guessing you're on about artwork on clothing with that, yes, or some merch from me. I'm hoping you are. Otherwise, that's going to be interesting. Right, let's have some fun with this. I'm going because it's a live stream. I'm going to just move this out, and we're going to have some fun. So, color swatches. I want that red because I want to just do the eye here. So that I'm inking color in. I'm not so worried about the lines as such because I want this red to not really change. Because of the style we've got, I want this to be kind of like a more dominant red in color. And then I want to go back to the black that we've got and just start working on the rest of the line art stuff. So, like I said, I will be testing out a few new things on this illustration near the end of it for this character and for them. So even though they look a bit cartoony now, there will be some really cool lighting effects that I've planned further on down the line. And this comes into play from something I did on one of the SCPs for the community redraw. I'm not going to spoil exactly what I did, but to help it match its abilities, I did something really cool. I mean, it is absolutely insane how well it came out. And because of that, I'm looking to replicate it a little bit on here. Now, the trick for this bit is I can't actually draw the silver lines on here until I actually finish doing the inking and get onto the coloring stage. And this bit here is going to have an awesome effect once I've done it. I will also be adding possibly some cartoonish saliva from the tongue on these. The symbiotes kind of have those long lizardy tongues, which are fun, but yeah, chaotic. Who do we have in the stream anyway? Who have we got on stream? Say hi in the chat if you're still here, or if you're new here and you're just joining in. I know I'm just waffling on a bit, but yay. Heads up for you guys also, there will be a load of shorts dropping, one short a day between now and I think it's the 23rd, Friday. And the reason for that is that when we get to, uh, I'm part of a shorts community group, and we got given a challenge to post one short a day for 2 weeks. So I'm doing it, which is going to be awesome because the current short that we had, the last short that I had, was doing absolutely amazing in comparison. I probably jinxed it now. It's probably going to be doing terrible. It's not even moving anymore. It was insane. It just jumped from where it used to be, and it's like, oh my God. I'm kind of hoping it's going to continue its little journey. It will be nice. I say that I got no idea what I did to make it anywhere near successful. But yeah. Also, if you're new to the channel and you have not checked it out, check out some of the older content to see some of the stuff from beforehand on the channel when, starting out, and see the difference between video quality then and now. But also just to like catch up with some of the stories. We will be restarting or continuing the Multiverse story arc at some point with venomizing Transformers, Marvel characters, DC characters for this massive epic battle that's happening. There is a massive battle happening. It's absolutely insane. Animations, I gotta go, but I might join back soon. That's cool. Galhan says, "Hey Dempsey, what do you think of my SCP submission?" I've had a brief read of all of them. I think you've got a cool concept on it. Looking at it, and it's quite an interesting design, and like I say, the lore is quite cool. I think you asked me this on the last live stream, but I hadn't really absorbed much of the stuff out from it. To be honest, I have looked at the Discord more recently for the starting submission, just so that the ones that I've done. Um, I still need to filter through the email ones. I've had a couple on email, so it is on the list to look through, which I will be doing in the next couple of days. But no, it's a cool concept what you've done. I quite like it. I've just got to see I've got to read your lore properly. I kind of skimmed it the other day and I've got bits of it, which is quite cool. Tuttle says, still here. Cool, glad you're still here. All right, let's get this long tongue done. Close these lines. Pro tip for everybody, if you're going to be doing a massive selection in any art program, make sure your outer lines are all closed. Because if you have them not closed, I've spent some time hunting them to fill in the white blocks that I use. You might see it on the live stream sometimes. Hunting these bits where they join to ensure that they actually look right, or they close and they can be selected correctly, because if you don't, it doesn't really work. Also, as Galahad19 has pointed out on many a live stream, next month will be, I believe, if I'm right, it's a year since I started community redraws. So the July redraw is a 1 year anniversary. And I do have something planned for it. Well, I've got something in the early planning stages for it. It's not actually fully done yet in terms of planned out, but I've got an idea what I want to do for it, for the theme. So that'll be quite cool. However, there'll be no spoilers on the theme because I'm trying to keep if I do a twist on the redraw, I want it to be more of a surprise at the moment. I have found sometimes that when I have done a community redraw and I've given a prompt, people have been trying to guess what the twist is. And sometimes the artwork has been for that twist, and it means that it's an amazing design, but I can't use it because it's, you know, it's already kind of what I'm going to be turning it into. I could use it if I wanted to be lazy on one of them. I've been tempted to do once or twice, but it's one of those ones where it's like, just have to see what happens. And sometimes the redraw will be a straight redraw, or just take your artwork and redraw it how it looks in my style, because that's what a redraw is. Which I haven't, I know I've done one or two kind of like that, but I haven't actually just done a straight redraw in a while. Maybe I should do something nostalgic and go to straight redraw. Hmm. I'm gonna have to pay close attention to the colors at this point. When I do render this out with colors, his hand's going to be simple, but he's going to have a pattern on it. Because his hand's got a pattern. It's kind of like red fingers and that. I'm back. Did I miss anything? I got to this point, and I don't think you've missed much. We've changed the way the view works and everything, Omen, and we're just basically just trying to make everything kind of tie in nicely together with the other planned artwork that we've got for this. So I say I may not be able to get all the way through this. I may just get this one character done tonight. But I think I probably will. Um, so once we've probably done the colors and we've gotten it to the same stage with the basic colors and that as the other ones, because of the technical hiccups and stuff, I'm going to call it a night on the stream at that point. So we've got a little while to go, probably about another half hour, 45 minutes, um, to work on it, and then I'm going to get some rest because I it's so hot basically, and I went and did a martial arts lesson tonight, which was super enjoyable. Haven't been in a very long time, so I was over the moon to be there. It was like great fun. But the only downside is I am naked in this heat. and it's still quite hot and muggy, we need a thunderstorm. We need like the heavens to open and a downpour to happen so that we can just go, yes. That would be the best outcome right now. Just a thunderstorm out in the sky. But if any of you guys got any questions, that'd be quite cool. I'm happy to answer our questions. In fact, do you guys want me to do some art tips videos at some point? They won't be anything major. It might even just be a couple shorts that have just got like pro artist tips, and I just cover one subject. It is I, Dr. Vander, now known as the aka number 0419 Sea Weasel Pokemon. Yes, formerly known as the artist Omenheart. I did figure it was you. That's the one thing I can't do too often is changing. Oh, I do know what I want to do at some point. I don't know if it's going to be put out as a redraw, it's going to be put out as a Discord challenge, or I'm just going to do it. I want a new avatar for the channel. So, quite frankly, I have the demon form of Mega Man currently as the channel avatar, which is great. I love it. It was one of my favorite art pieces, but I kind of want something that's not going to get old with time. By that, I mean like put across as an avatar of him. I would love a cool avatar of me. Now, I'm not going to copy the same style. I want it to be rather unique. I don't know if I'm going to do a partly venomized avatar. I don't know if I should do one of the narrators. I'm trying to figure out the best approach for it. Once I have, I'm going to test it out and see what it looks like. And that will be the channel brand, as it were, for my little circle, which would be quite cool. Art tip videos would be quite helpful. Cool. Are there any particular subjects that you guys want to see if it's an art tip video? I mean, I will cover everything from line weights to using Procreate to drawing references, drawing without. I mean, I could do a whole series on it. However, they will be short info, so I'm not going to go into tons of detail. It's going to be like top tips. So top tips for drawing eyes, or uh, how to get this effect in Procreate or something, or top tips for this. If it's going to be anything more in depth, it have to be something like a member stream or a live stream or something like Q&A. And maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do a live Q&A, art tips from an artist, and just do the tips for the questions that are asked. That would be quite an interesting one. Thinking about it. I'm kind of not worried about doing some of the lines on this not super great, because this is even though it's going to be a cool illustration and I do want it to look rather cool, these characters are going to be, the lines get shrunk down, so even if it will print A3, it's still going to have detail. But sometimes an organic line just needs to be an organic line. Just needs to be a little bit messy or something, can just look a bit out of place and just tie in nicely with everything else eventually. And sometimes an organic line just needs to be a super long curvy line, which, yes, it can be quite fun. But yeah, let me know in comments on a video or a post or something what tips you guys are after or you're struggling with. Because if you guys can let me know what things you might be struggling with, it'll help me understand what things to potentially uh, do on the channel if I do tips and that. Because I've got tons of stuff, but if you've got a direction where you want to be started at, I can do that. I'm not turning into an educational channel. I'm just giving some pro tips or some things that I found over the years that are quite useful and or helpful and it can be digital or traditional tips. I'd like to see dynamic character poses and how to express through body language and facial expressions. That's quite cool. Sorry, I'm behind in the stream as well. No, that's cool. It doesn't matter if you're behind in the stream. Appreciate you watching the stream. I think that's quite cool. And the only thing I can say on that, with any definity or definite thing is, I would be learning facial expressions at the same time. So I'm potentially happy to do something um, bit more how I got on doing it in the video and like review. I I could potentially start another channel and do that, technically speaking, but that's going to be a lot of effort. I have to build a new channel, build a new community, branch it out, manage it. I've got a full-time job. That's not going to work. No, no, I can do tips on it and I can do basic tips and stuff. I've got things I can try and things that I can mention, including some top tip exercises that otherwise say, do this and it'll improve this, do this and it'll improve this. And it's like, well, you can try it, but I'm not promising it. Right, so is that done now? Yes. So now's the moment of truth. Yeah, I figured as much. Where have I not joined a line? There. And there. So this is why it's important to, it's going to look really bright on the screen in a minute, just to warn you. Could you do the topic on character drawing basis? Oh, do you mean the basics? I could do one on the basics of character drawing. I am not an expert on it because I use I mean, the biggest one is using references, to be honest. I'm not a super expert on it all, but I am happy to share whatever knowledge I do have if people think they'll find that useful. Is that all of the bits? Ah, cool, that wasn't so bad. So now I get a bright white color and I'm just going to fill that in as a base color. The reason being is it doesn't matter what color you use on this point. It's more for the factor of, and I do want to actually, I'm not worried about that. I want to save that selection. Yeah. Oh, what selection is that one? I got a selection from another file. Oh no, that's the other selections I had on that. That's cool. So I wanted to save that selection so I can reuse it in future if I need to. So now we're going to start with the color schemes on this. So I'm going to drop in a completely darker color, but he's going to have a lighter color thing. Oh, so Dempsey, if you could be a Pokemon, what would you be? I'm already my favorite. Lucario. I'd be some form of Lucario. It's my favorite Pokemon. It is up on the side bit over there. And yes, I would quite happily be Lucario. Definitely happy to be that. No worries, Galahad 19. We'll catch you next time. All right, let's continue with this. So I do know that his top is a green color and it's more kind of that color green. So I'm going to put in bits I know aren't really going to change, although it is a turquoisey greeny color, isn't it? Let's have a look. I don't have the exact color for my reference. So yeah, it is more that color. It's more towards the blue, I think. So it's more, that's the color green for his top. So I want to go in and go do 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 do. And this is where the detail comes in. So detail is great, but sometimes a detail can be a curse. So as I say, I want it to be, I mean, it's going to shrink down quite small. It's going to be like that small, so it's not going to be a huge issue. But I do want to get the bits right that need to have the right color. And using layers is great for this. So a lot of artists tend, you see a lot of artists tend to do one layer for everything, and they can do it. They work in layers in their heads. They do digital painting really well. They know what they want to do, what they're going to do on it. They've got it planned. That's brilliant. However, I like the control with multiple layers. So depending on your program, one layer is better. However, Procreate or Photoshop and stuff, multiple layers allows you to use clipping masks, alpha masks. It just allows you to kind of make things work for you, which is awesome. And it's a great way to group materials together. So you can either do everything on an individual layer if you've got enough capacity for that, or you could group similar textured items on the same layers. Um, so if it's a metal item, despite the color, they all go on the same layer because you start applying the same type of effects or association with them all. I know I said that was the color, but that doesn't look like the color. That's too bright. That's much better. Right. And then we've got we do have a funky red pattern to go, but I'm not worried about that. So let's do the eyes of Spidey, or Miles's eyes in here. Now, this is where I said I can't do anything till I get onto this bit. Pokemon is dragons venomized. That's quite a cool idea. On this bit is I need to draw the kind of like the web effect that goes across his face. And I know he's got like more than this, but I'm just expanding it out for the cartoon effect. Okay, so here's one. It comes down like that. And out like that. I think they're the middle ones really. I just need to place them well. And then link the webs. This is also the most like fun and time consuming thing with a Spider-Man character. Linking the webbing on the head or something is it's always fun to do, but you need to work out your there you go. I know he's got it on his leg down here as well, so kind of got a effect like that. And then so that's kind of cool. I do think I need to do that eye for the symbiote part. Usually I change all the colors around, but I think I know what I want to do for that. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I've got an idea of where I want to go with that one. Now his hand does have webbing on it. So, but it does also have that black bit. So the fingers don't have it. So it kind of like, so go. Mm. It's so tricky figuring out where some of these things go. It's one of those ones where you're like, I know I kind of want it here, but do I want it there? Hmm. Right, so that's going to be follow the reds along. So I'm getting tired, so I am struggling to see some of this a little bit on this screen. My glasses. Yeah, starting to get a bit tired, but I will persevere to get this done because we're nearly done on this bit, and then once this is done, it'll kind of should tie in nicely all in all together. And obviously the red hood's kind of a different red, so I will drop that in as a another element here. And the beauty of being able to do live streams, as I've said before, for any of you guys joining or watching, is I can zoom in on the live streams. It's quite tricky to zoom in on the videos that I normally do because I try to get as much of them out as possible to see. I mean, there are times I have zoomed into color. It's just easier on the iPad, depending on the intricate details. But yeah, I try not to zoom in too much just so I can keep it going nicely on the main parts of the videos. Around these lines a bit. If anyone's wondering why my setup's different to normal, if you're just joining, I had a few technical issues tonight due to the heat and just not wanting to let the iPad connect nicely. So I basically just pointed my phone camera at the phone display and attached it, which is quite cool. And it's working, which is quite cool. And then yeah, I'm just working my way through the coloring aspect of this just to get the core essence in place of what we're trying to achieve on this piece. On that moment, colored in, perfect. I think his shoes are the same color as his fingers, so that there should also be down here. In fact, I'll just color this all in and then just do the respective layers as I get to them because cool. So I can erase that bit for the black, right? Because that's going to be part of the lace. If anyone's wondering why I'm doing this Miles Morales version, that's like the Into the Spider-Verse one, it's because this whole kind of artwork piece is getting inspired by the new movie, even though I haven't seen it yet. So I'm trying to keep some of the kind of core concept of the original characters in there, which is why the shoes and that are on this venomized version of Miles. And he will have a symbiote added once I get to that point. I mean, it is already drawn on him technically. It's just making sure that it's hiding nicely. Which is all good fun. What are people up to right now or up to this evening? Let me know in the chat if you're still about. How do you export your images so they turn out as sharp as possible? That is down to your DPI. So a larger canvas with a higher DPI works. Most artists will do digital work at 300 DPI. So you need to be 300 DPI and A4 size would work. That will give you a nice sharp amount of detail once you're done. And that's why some of my artwork comes out really, really detailed because I'm working on like A2 sizes for my artwork. So this is actually I believe this canvas is A2 in size. Yeah, so it's 18 inches by 24 inches at 300 DPI. So if I was to print this on A3, this would come out really detailed. So the two tips are draw it at 300 DPI, but have a large canvas. So draw it on a canvas larger than you want to print on. It doesn't have to be massively larger, just needs to be. But the only downside to this, because of the dimensions, I am limited to 22 layers maximum on this art piece. So I can group layers, I can clip layers, I can merge layers down, but I'm limited to 22 layers currently on this piece. So that's why after I'm done a load of this, I will merge them down to be the flats and then build it up from that again. Because that's just how it works. But it's something to bear in mind is the layer limit on apps like Procreate. Benny Sharp has entered the chat. Really? Or are you just saying that, Eamon Hart? If Popcross is in the chat, say hi. No, that'd be quite surreal. But yeah, I'm working through this bit. We're not far off being done, to be honest. I've deliberately done this a certain way of rendering it out to be cheeky. The symbiote bit will have some colors added to it, but in general, the main bulk of it is going to be based off a layer above the layer that we've got at the bottom, causing this black or dark, not quite black, this dark off black color. And that's going to be what I use to sort that. And then I'll add a bit of a texture to it. I'll work around a little bit of it, and then it's pretty much done. Of course, I am taking time to do a few little bits of detail. I mean, attention to detail is the key thing on any art piece that you work on. But at the same time, it's the style you're working on as well. But I need to adjust the pixel size. Okay, what do you use, Turtle? Do you use an iPad, and what generation? I mean, this is a iPad Pro. It's not the M1 version, my one. It's a prior version to that, but it does have 256 gigabytes of storage, which allows me to have 22 layers rather than something like 18 or something at this dimension set. So if you're using something like um, if you're using something like an iPad and Procreate, you want to A4 size at 300 dpi would work, and you adjust your brush sizes, but draw it large, scale it down. It's also good to get a good comic inker brush. I use a comic inker brush from Ram Studios, and that is my comic inker. My sketch brushes are from Jing Sketch, their basic brush set, which you can see on screen here. I use a lot of free brushes or brushes I've bought as well. So Bell Essentials is a brush set that I've bought along with the Bell FX. Um, I have quite a few in there past the default ones, and they just help and work so well. It's just, yeah, it's hard to explain. It's having the right tools does help, but also it's just a case of I don't know. So you will learn it over time. It also depends on the printer as well. So where are you printing it at home or are you printing it elsewhere? Because I'm assuming you want your final images to be nice and clear, but is that for printing or is that for just when you have them on the web? Because when you save them out, you also want to save them at the larger the size. When you shrink them down, the better the saving that, the better it will save um, effectively. I need a layer here that's going to be pretty much that color, just because I want to do the little bit of stringed web that the guy's got, that Miles is holding on to. Just erase that bit there. I do also want to give so Miles has a kind of electric ability. It's got a rather funky bioelectrical shock. So I want to have some blue added into the design on his symbiote. Quite a vibrant blue as well. And the reason for that is it's going to be uh, tying in somewhat. What do I do on the other ones? So the other ones, the symbiote's got the texture. It doesn't have a great deal more than basic texture and a tongue. So that's as far as I got on it. Let's check this one. So texture, tongue. Okay, that's fine. I'm just checking how detailed I did those pieces because I kind of want to keep it consistent. So I'm on an iPad Pro 11 inch and that the DPI apparently I'm 4,000 height inwards. Your DPI being that high is insane. You will only need, I don't think that DPI is right. You will only need 300 to 400 DPI, 4,000 pixel height and width. You should be getting a nice decent amount of layers for that. Also, I'm not printing, but I'm posting to my Instagram I made for my artwork. Okay, that's cool. When you export out, your image is going to be quite large. When you're in your photos, you can crop to make it smaller. Instagram should load it right. It should be fine. I think your DPI is wrong there. That needs to be at least 300. That's way too many dots per inch. That's insane. Um, I think if you're doing that, are you using Procreate as well? But I think if you were to just set that to be at those settings, it would probably solve a lot of the issues you're having, in all fairness. Yeah, so now I've reached my layer limit, but I know I put extra layers in on some areas. So now I can go above my layer limit, but that's still a case of I reached the layer limit on this, which is cool, but also a little bit annoying. Cause that to go on here. I'm not worried about. Oh, I missed a bit. Okay, cool. I'll sort that in a bit. But yeah, I think your DPI is causing you an issue. It's not registering it, so it's probably giving you a really bad DPI on your app. That'd be my first guess, and that'd be my first point of call to check. Right, so I want to erase that bit there. I'll get that color because I know I've missed a section off, and I want to jump onto the left of that. Do go old fashion. Let's color it in. And that needs a lovely grungy color teeth over the top. I might change that to be a darker color pink. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Kind of looks really goofy and stupid at this point. There is a point in art, and I will make this clear to everybody now. There is a point when you're doing your art, when you're drawing it, and you're partly through the process, and you look at it and you think, that looks ugly, I hate it. I guess I'm in Procreate and still a minute behind in the stream. Sorry. Oh, no worries about that. I will just look up the chat and answer it as soon as I see it. Do not worry about being behind a bit in the chat if I've said something and then I've waffled on a bit about the subject and you're still playing catch up. As long as it's helping you, the information, that's not a problem. Yeah, expect the chat to be a little bit behind anyway because I had the lovely dilemma of it not really wanting to work properly with the stream earlier, so need to sort that out a little bit going forward. But first, I also want to do this because this is going to be fun. Cool. So I think that's pretty much Miles done bar the symbiote color. Now, I was trying to figure out a good complementary color for him to have. He doesn't really have much in the way of it. I know the symbiotes are more of an off color that I've been doing. So I'm going to make it consistent and I'm going to take a symbiote color from within the mid-range tone and I'm going to just drop that on briefly, which is actually really good because that works better as the base color, to be honest. And the symbiote color works well through that one. So if I take that and I clear that layer, we might have got super lucky with this. Oh, I want to take off that layer down there. I don't need that for now. So for the symbiote effect, I'm going to take the bits that I need, taking care of the bits that are down here, because this is where my detail comes into play. I think I may have tried to max stuff out at some point because it was really pixelated and never fixed. Yeah, I think it's a case of 300 dpi, the size of what you've got, and then it's the type of brushes that you're using. So you want a comic brush that's got a really nice setting. The RAM, I don't know how much cash you've got. I'm not asking like, oh yeah, for that reason. I'm just saying the brushes that I paid for, the Jing sketch brushes, the Abel brushes, and the Ram Studios brushes. I think in total I've spent no more than about £20 on it, which is probably from them. I would recommend potentially contact me on the Discord. I will see if I can find links to them to the actual sites to get them from, or the videos they feature in, for you to download a copy. Probably the best way forwards if you can get them. I can't give them out because, you know, I'm not allowed to, and I wouldn't do that to another artist anyway. They spent the time creating the brushes, so I think it is fair that they get credit where credit's due. And they are, they get the fair pay for it. But what I will say is that some of them are donate things, so you can depending on some sites you get to, you can choose the amount you put on it. But I think that might help you. The pixelation, I think it's the DPI. I think with the DPI being so high, everything's going to kind of end up looking pixelated on that, in all fairness. It's one of those ones where I think that higher setting is probably going to make it look more pixelated than it actually is, because in effect, that DPI, you're zoomed in like that. You like really zoomed in for detail. I mean, your lines may look super crisp and clear, but they're going to be super tiny in comparison on the page. Depending on the size of your brush, obviously. So I think it's worth checking it out, see what happens. I mean, you feel free if you can handle it on there. I mean, I had an iPad 11-inch Pro, 64 GB before this one. I've still got it, and I was doing all my earlier videos on it, um my venomized Optimus Prime and stuff. That was all drawn on that iPad, and yeah, it does the job. It works. It did what it needed to do, which is great. It's just a case of getting what you need to work for you. It's also worth backing up your artwork off there, and if need be, reset Procreate back to factory settings, like uninstall it or just tell it to just uninstall it and restart it. But I back everything up, back your brushes up, back the lot up. You can back them into the files on the iPad. You can move them out of the folder across and save them. You can export them. There are tutorials how to do that. I can find links. But that's if you want to go down the route of a factory type reset on it to kind of sort that out. I want to add that to the selection because I want that selection for my next layer in a minute. So delete that old one, duplicate that there, merge down. Right, we're ready to add some colors to this now. This is what I'm doing for the detailed stage at the moment on this. I'm going to add some colors, tie it into what we've got, and work it up from here. So first things first is to take the layer color that we want, and I'm adding a purple hue to all of these using the painting brush from the Jing sketch brush set. I want to alpha lock the layer. Try and find the bright enough purple for it to actually show up. Helps them on the actual right layer to do it. Take a bit of the detail from there and then just basically pick up where I think the shadows are going to be, but I want to, because it's quite a dark color suit, I want to kind of give it almost a rim lighting on the areas I think it's going to have the darkest shadows. The reason for this is I kind of want to just emphasize that. But what I'm going to do is the reverse. So I'm going to now go towards the blue, and I'm going to use that for the more highlighted sections of the face and the hand design, and of course part of the leg, because we all know that's just how it's going to go. It doesn't look like much now, but it will make all the difference later. It will make a massive amount of difference later. So for this layer, same thing. I want to add a bit more purple to the design. Where I think it's probably going to take more of the lighting, like the darker areas. I am only using this. It's actually gone on quite heavily, but I am using it quite sparingly in regards to what I'm actually doing. And then for that bluish color, I just want to go up just a tiny bit. just to try and give some shape to it. I don't want to go too much because, as I say, a huge amount of this detail is going to come into play when we add a few extra bits. But I kind of need to get another basic bit in on this to kind of just right. Rule number one: always remember what layer you're on and alpha lock your layer. Because I just want to give an emphasis of where the light's coming from the shadows, and I'm keeping it consistent throughout the piece. Um, reason for this is because now I can add like lighter colors and stuff and kind of just sort this out. I got a weird feeling of deja vu. I'm not sure why. I just got a feeling of deja vu on this character in this. Oh well, we will get to that point when we get to that point. Um, alpha lock the teeth and give him some really funky looking teeth. I'm not going to touch that there, but I will add something I did miss on that one. I actually missed doing the whole around the eye. So the reason I wanted this kind of like effect to go is I wanted to give it a, this may turn color to be red like the actual red that's next to him. Potentially, I am. Yeah, no, that's going to go red. Yeah, that's better. Maybe a bit more of a pinkish color red. Just give it a bit more a difference. However, I'm not going to change that because that's going to have its own kind of effect. Oh, look. Ah, that's the webbing around that, so I don't want that just yet. Webbing can stay how it is. I'm just giving kind of like the whole concept of this part isn't actually to do all the lighting and the shading in much detail. It's to give highlights and stuff on certain areas so that when we do all the lighting and detail a bit later, it kind of picks up enough of the details to work how we kind of want them to. And at this point, I'm thinking about what colors are going where. So depending on how orangey a highlight might be, it may go more to the orange here on these bits here, just a little tad, or just a tad, just a bit to highlight some of it, but it'll pick up those colors a bit later on. So I think last stream I brought up the idea of using the poisons from the venomized, and I got thinking what would no look like either is poisoned. That's quite an interesting one. I'd love to see your design on that, actually. That'd be quite cool. Zara, no worries. If you had to leave, you had to leave. Welcome back. I'm still going for a little bit. I'm not too far off where I want to get to on this tonight, to be honest. Um, Majority of this is just dropping in the leftover bit, sort of this kind of like styling stage with the kind of textures, as it were, on a few bits. Um, a bit more purple on here because they are everything. Um, just want to get this kind of to the point where it's okay enough to be in with the rest of them. So obviously just highlighting a few aspects and dropping in a few bits where they need to be. A lot of this lighting bit comes from all the artworks and references I've looked at. So these bits here are all based on working my way through stuff and understanding the color theory. So I'll make this quite simple for everybody. You have to make things um, warmer or cooler, or to get shadows and highlights. It's really simple, and I'm going to do a really simple trick on the color wheel. So we've got this the base green. To go cooler, you take the shortest route to purple, which is bringing it this way, and it becomes blue and purple. So your end goal is really the purple color. If you want to make, so that will then give me my shadows. So if I add my shadows in here for what we've got and stuff, you can see that kind of gives like a cool shadowy color impression from this. And it's not too over the top, but it gives you that cool shadowy effect, yeah? Now, if I want to go lighter, I take the longest route round to purple for highlights. So you go towards the warmer colors, and we're going towards the warmer colors, and then dropping this up a little bit, because you can drop it down and up inside the color wheel, but you go towards warmer colors. When you actually add it onto there, you start getting these quite nice light colors that have the hint of yellow in it, and then you just build up what you're doing from that. So from where the light might hit it to the layers, and already we've started to get a really nice effect, and it's color theory. It is the colors that you use to make it work. And if you want to do a kind of popping effect, you go with a complementary color or a tertiary color, but it gives you that extra oomph in the picture, what you're doing. So the secret really is go for purple. Right, that needs to be alpha locked. That needs to be selected. And again, if I use it on here, I will always want to go towards the purple with the quickest route for what I'm doing on this bit to give it more of a, I'm going to go darker as well, to give it more of a darker effect. And it just by adding that purple in, the ones that are by here or on the side or here, it already starts to look like it's having that effect. I finish up a piece I've been working on of Invincible, but I'm definitely going to try and crack at Null Poisoned and put on Discord. Yeah, you should do that. That'd be really good. And if you ever get stuck on anything, you don't have to ask me on the Discord, for help on it. We have an awesome community on there, which we've got a couple channels like art feedback and like the art feedback and work in progress. So even while you're actually doing it and you're working progress on it, drop them in there, get the feedback. If you don't think something looks right, ask for a second opinion. There is no harm in it whatsoever. And if someone says it doesn't look great or something, don't take it to heart, take it with a pinch of salt because they're not trying to be mean. And if they are being blatantly mean, we'll put a stop to it. But we don't tolerate that. Just so everyone's aware, it's a nice safe place for everybody. Um, and we don't actually have anybody that does that, thankfully. What I'm saying is, yeah, if you're stuck on something, we will happily try and help and give feedback and suggest stuff. And it's always a suggestion. So feel free to join in. The art community is amazing, and yeah, it'd be really cool to have someone else on the Discord. Right, so now I've done that, that's kind of all done, bar merging stuff down. So I need to create that new layer above here for a reason. So you remember we selected that entire mess there that I've just highlighted and selected here. Now if I go to a dark color and I have my venom texture, which is kind of like a rosary texture, I can now cover this one thing only because I selected it from where I colored it in at that point. I can color this one element only with this texture on a new layer, which is really cool. This is the beauty of like clipping masks and selections. So we've only colored in the bits that we want this whole venomized texture that I want to have that effect on. Now what I'm going to do is turn it to an overlay layer, which is a cool one that I learned. Drop the opacity down just enough, and now it gives this really cool, almost like comic-y halftone effect. But the beauty of it is it works really well for like a symbiote, like the meshy texture you can get on a symbiote. Do you think I need to do one more thing now? So now that I've got this, I do think I need to kind of just do a bit of a kind of pattern, just because I feel that it needs it. But I'm gonna outlook that at this point. Go up here to this, and just I'm doing it at this stage because I know what kind of effect I'm trying to do, and I want to make sure I get the effect right because I think that's going to look quite cool. So that's the basics of all this done, and now I can merge the layers down. So I can merge down, merge it down. I don't want to affect my layer here, but you always want to merge down as well. So if you're on the layer above, if it's got an effect like overlay, if you click on that layer and merge down, that will keep its effect and its highlights, its kind of like the distance that it's got and everything. If you don't, you will lose your effect from your overlay. Okay, so add, because I need to add two more if I can finish this almost. That's going to be, what did I do on this? Did I do a soft light or hard light? I think I did a soft light. No, it's hard light at this stage, and then it's an overlay at this stage. And I went to that one and that one. So that one is my hard light layer, and I have a noise brush for this. And this just allows me to give it this kind of patterned texture over the top of it, which I will drop down slightly. This patterned texture really helps to give a bit of dimension to the piece. And then I just drop that down just slightly. My overlay layer is basically a cream color, working on that P and that's there. And I basically just take the picture and just add extra light where I want to highlight the light's coming from. And it will pick up all of these hues and everything I've put in there. So where I put pinks or blues or anything in the actual legs, it will pick up those extra colors at the back. It'll kind of like highlight them a bit more, which should be quite cool. Omen says, so I decided to use a free software called Medibang, which is quite interesting. It feels similar to photo which I used to draw the amazing dragons. That's quite cool. I think I've heard that name before. I'm not 100% sure if I've looked at it before. If I have, it probably wasn't for me. But if it works for you, awesome. Cool. So now if I merge that down, and I have to merge the ink layer down on this. This is where it gets tricky going forwards now. It's been quite interesting. Tegan says, I am still here, just not chatting. That's cool, Tegan. You're more than welcome to look in the background, learn stuff, and if you've got questions, chat at that point. Not a problem. We're almost done with what we're doing on this one. So if I duplicate this now, unlock that, I want to drop this one into the flats mains because basically this layer has everyone in it. So it's got Miles, Spider-Man, Spider-Punk, Spider-Gwen, unless she shrunk down. I want to keep that one safe. That's the main layers. So I turn this one on, turn this one on. I can now, I'm doing a composite piece, so I can now place Miles roughly where he's going to go. I can drop him underneath that piece. This is why cloning a layer is great. And Procreate, unfortunately, cuts it off when you get off the canvas and back. These streams will be automatically put on the channel after I finish. There will be the technical bits at the start. I might crop off this one, but there's a tab on the channel called Live. Underneath that is all of my live streams. So if you need any of the tips from this one and you want to jump into it and look back and forth, that's not a problem. If you think something in here was really useful that you want to know as a tip, ask in the comment after it posts on a comment on a video, and I'll see what I can do to make a short or something to cover that for you or for everyone, or message you on the Discord or something with it. Yeah, so this is why I did them. So he fits in with this style now. So all the colors kind of work, and he's got to be roughly about the same size as Gwen, headwise, and then he can be here like so. And now our picture's kind of starting to come together, and we've got two more to do. We've got this mystery character, and then we've got Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman, that one. I will be doing, it's going to be really simple. I have a background for one of my other gallery. Where is it? Where's my spider people? So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take one of these backgrounds, like the Spider-Gwen one. It's basically this background. I'm going to just do this now as a test. Copy the canvas. I'll put that back in. Go back to my Spider-Man piece. So paste my canvas, which will go into there and not be quite large enough. Just duplicate that. Actually, I don't need to duplicate that for now. So what I want to do is I just want to see what happens if I've got them with a kind of like a Venom background behind them. So like that, and I will do some effects on it and stuff, but that is kind of where I'm going with an idea for the piece. So kind of want it to branch off kind of even, but it's something like that. Something where we've got the background to go, hey, sorry, it's fine. It's my own background. um, but yeah, I want to do that. So when I start adding the lighting to this piece, and we've got all the lighting coming from wherever it is, because I haven't actually added the layer to it. So I will show you what will happen, because I've got to merge these down for the final lighting piece. But I will show you what will happen if I add my shadow layer to it that I kind of do. My two shadows. That one's about 50%. That's not a problem. So once I start adding the shadows to this, it's going to really start to, I'll just add it on a bit of all of them. It's not going to be massively on the shadows. I just want to add enough to go. that's with the soft light. Now the shadows will pick up all the little texture bits here, and I can control that to how light I want that to be. But when I start actually adding these details in on the final stage, it's going to look so cool with all these bits. And you can see where it's like the colors are picking up quite nicely. So soft layer works really nicely for that. And the overlay doesn't. I will, however, delete that background for now because we need the space. And the next one we're probably going to do might be Jessica Drew. But for now, we have done our Miles Morales Spider-Man or Spider-Man. I'll turn those off. I'll turn his layer on. And I'll just share JPEG. Save an image out that I can use for the thumbnail later. But that's basically it. Yeah, I agree total. The background's going to be really epic on it, and it's going to work so much, well, so well at the end. But this is kind of what we've got so far. In fact, I want to save that one out. Save the image. I'll update the stream with this, and I'll probably edit that first bit off when it needs to, up to the point the stream was working. Just because we had all those technical issues. But yeah, basically it's a case of we've got two more to add into this top space. So we're going to be adding two more, one, two, into these areas. And then if we've got other space down here, I'm going to see about filling it out depending on it afterwards. We have had some suggestions for other ones, but for now, I'm not too worried about those. I'm quite happy to do that. Also, I'm having fun with backgrounds, so I will. You can see I've created an actual for the June redraw, not to spoil it. I've created an SCP folder logo cover, so I've created my own document with the SCP Foundation logo, just so you guys can't see what was going on while I was in the live stream. But yeah, I think this is going to be quite a cool set of illustrations. But unless anyone's got any questions that they urgently need asking, I am most likely going to end the stream there tonight. Thank you all for joining for the technical difficulties, by the way. I really do appreciate it. It's not every day that you have things go absolutely manic and chaotic, but we managed to get there in the end, which is really cool. Just give it a minute, see if there's any questions. If not, then I will call it a night. We've been going for about 2 hours, 15 minutes, so nice, decent length stream. It's probably about hour 45, 2 hours by the time we get rid of the green screen of death issue that we had. It didn't show up again, did it? Oh, once we plugged it into here, so I need to look into that. It could just be the heat and the laptop overheating. Draw a stupid Among Us style Spider-Man. Oh, you drew a stupid Among Us style Spider-Man and put it in the Discord. Nice, Sarah. I definitely will have a look at that. So maybe 2099 if you're feeling it. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these six, probably drop the background in, see what it looks like and save that out, and then potentially behind the scenes add a couple of the extra ones to bulk it out a bit, which is quite good. I don't know. I'm going to put a poll out this week. I don't know if we'll continue this a bit later on. Injustice Player Gaming. Spider-Woman, as in the Jessica Drew, the original one, is on the list to go in there. So I've got two more slots. One of them is Spider-Woman. I've got a rough little sketch in place there to composition. Um, and then I've got another female Spider-Man character to go in. So I kind of want to get balance it out between three Spider-Men, three Spider-Women. If you've got a particular one, be sure to let us know in the comments below, and I'll have a look back adding that as the final one because I haven't decided on that one. Night Dempsey, I've been here all along. I'm just neck deep in admin work. Not a problem, tip centric. If it's anything like what I've got to do, I've got to do like 11 more shorts for the next 14 days worth of our challenge. But yeah. So also see you next time, man. I appreciate all the help. Keep up great work. Not a problem. Thank you for that. And yeah, like I say, just add comments or just comments with questions. And if it's something I can answer, I'll answer. If it's something that people want a video on, ask me about a video for it, and I'll see if I can jot something together or do a short for it. The other place is Discord is a great place for it if you join the community server. I'm often bouncing around there from time to time. Well, I will say